Hi everybody, and welcome to Cayuse Pass. That's Mount Rainier, an active stratovolcano. This thing, I don't know what it is, but it's just to the south of Chinook. I'll do some reading and do some learning. I think this is a thick stack of Ohanapecosh formation that's capped with some harder, I don't know, bumping lake dills, sills and dikes, or dills and sykes, whatever. We got some work to do. Let's do some geology between Chinook and White Passes. Beautiful bluebird day. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started. Well, let's do a little filming in between bursts of road noise. I mean, if I'm talking about Cascade volcanoes, and I am, I mean, let's take advantage of a good look at an iconic Cascade stratovolcano. I got a lot of learning to do. I don't know much about what we're looking at, except I'm pretty sure we're looking at the northeast side of Mount Rainier that failed catastrophically 5,600 years ago, the Osceola mudflow. But these crags in the bottom half of the frame, I don't know about them. Maybe Tatoosh Pluton, but I'm guessing. And then more crags. I mean, each of these crags I'd like to learn more about, and I think that I will in short order. But again, I'm impressed with the exposure of this stuff up here, this craggy material. And the Pacific Crest Trail works its way along the east side of that. It's 85 degrees up here. Today's supposed to be 105 degrees Fahrenheit down in Ellensburg. Okay, this is a busy road, but there are nice quiet stretches. So let's take advantage of one of those quiet stretches. There's our friend Rainier. We're a couple miles west of Chinook Pass now, in Mount Rainier National Park. I cannot use my hammer. And yes, we are at it again. We're still using a geologic road guide over Chinook, White Pass, and Ellensburg to Yakima highways. Newell Campbell, 1975. And thanks to the viewers, I have found digital copies of both this and this, Roadside Geology of Mount Rainier National Park and Vicinity, Patrick Pringle. We're going to use this one as well a little bit. So if you go to nickzentner.com, go to the upper right-hand corner, see the word Cascades, click on that word. That will get you to the digital versions of these road guides. You can download them, you can print them out yourself, take them up here like I've done, and play it along. So I've stopped at a cute little place, and I'm pretty sure we are at layered volcanics of the Ohanapecosh Formation visible along the roadway. The Ohanapecosh here is made up of volcanic breccias and andesite flows. Okay, if you saw the video that I called Chinook Pass a couple weeks ago, I was frustrated, and I don't have a hammer, but maybe we can see something that looks a little bit more truly Ohanapecosh Formation. Okay, let's give you a lay of the land. This is still 410. And it does the switchbacky thing. So there's 410 right up there. So this camper is going to be working its way down around the hairpin and coming down and going right past us. There's a side that says rocks. That means we're in luck. Wildflowers are out. I don't know, let me just zoom across the road, not go over there. Let me just videotape from over here. Interesting kind of flowy textures. And yeah, they used dynamite to put the road in, whatever year that was. But I'm seeing a beautiful greenish look to this rock that I've always meant to stop at. Here's our friend coming around the corner. Oh, come on, I want to look at the outcrop. Look both ways, boy. Paintbrush and other flowers, I don't know. Okay, without knowing any better, I would just think this is an andesite lava flow. That's from the Ohanapecosh formation, which means that it's not lava that came out of Mount Rainier. It means it's a lava flow that came out of a stratovolcano, probably similar in size and scale to Mount Rainier, but is no longer around. A ghost volcano, in other words. Part of the Ohanapecosh formation. Now, I'm a work in progress, but I thought Ohanapecosh meant we are subaqueous. That doesn't mean these thick lava flows, these thick green lava flows erupted underwater, does it? I mean, that might be why we have the breccias, but I don't think that's why we have the thick lava flows. Trillium? See what I mean? If you get a big slow-moving vehicle, then suddenly there's tons of backup behind those rigs. You know this, right? From driving on mountain roads. And then if you catch it in between those log jams, then it's nice and quiet. All right, so I don't think I see the breccia, but I do think that this, hopefully this looks very green to you, almost a bluish green. You know, be careful now. These are not green rocks that are metamorphic and green rocks that are part of the, you know, subduction zone story and the exotic terrain business. These are green lavas, bluish green lavas. God, I really want to break one open. Bluish green lavas that are from a ghost volcano. I already forgot the dates. Ohanapecosh is in the 20s, right? In the roaring 20s? All right, I like this stop. Nobody else is stopping here. It was a real zoo up by Tipsu Lake, I'll tell you that. Okay, I don't think I have anything meaningful to say, so I'll stop recording. But I think I, again, am drawn to these crags. I'm drawn to these crags in the foreground. You're like, you're not drawn to the cones? Like, well, I've been here long enough. I know what Rainier looks like. I've obsessed over Rainier like almost everybody else for a long, long time. But I'm now really interested in these older stories that are in the foothills around the active cones. Similar to the Spirit Lake Pluton video that was just a reconnaissance, just a beginning. Oh my God, what if I get my hammer? Is it gonna kill me if I have one hammer blow in a national park? Don't answer that. I don't think I see any breccias here. And what would I look for? Well, in my simple mind, a volcanic breccia has big angular blocks within it that clearly got swept up in some sort of a volcanic event, and I just don't see that here. I don't think. Beautiful day. Incredibly warm for up here. It's 85 degrees at 1 in the afternoon. Oh, interesting. There's a beautiful sill. No, a beautiful dike. So putting Highway 410 up there, blasted into that face, and you see that lighter colored squirt of similar composition magma, I guess, squirting up through greenish Ohanapecosh. Onward. Thank you. All right, let's try this. Just going a couple miles down to where 410 merges with State Route 123. But this is such a squirrely little section that most everybody remembers when they drive through here. And I've usually had big groups, so I've never really had the luxury to stop and poke around at some of these turnouts. But the effort to get this highway in here amongst this very resistant series of thick andesite lava flows within the Ohanapecosh, more green there. More green. Is the green coming through? I'm not talking about the vegetation, I'm talking about the rock. Kind of unusual to see a bunch of green lavas stacked one on top of another. It is for me, anyways. Okay, that's enough. So that drops you down to Seattle. But we're going to go south on 123, and this way goes down to White Pass. And Rimrock Lake is still on fire, so the road is still closed, but I think we can get to White Pass itself. And that's the plan for today. So we are switching now. We're giving up on Newell for at least a while. And we're now jumping to Pat Pringle's book, published in June of 2008. Pat put a lot of time into this book. And so the idea is we are starting leg G in his book. This is page 120. And we just swung down, you see Chinook Pass there? So the video so far, all we've done is descend from Chinook Pass on those switchbacks. That's the road, leg F. And now we're at leg G, and we're going to follow. Oh, is this Cayuse Pass? Oh, this is Cayuse Pass. Okay. So we're going to go from Cayuse Pass down. And I think there's going to be less and less exposure, but let's see what Pat has to say. So I'm going to redo our trip meter. Okay, Pat, thank you. Pat Pringle. We are at a small pullout at a sharp curve. Ohanapecosh beds dip up to 20 degrees to the north here. A dike related to the Tatoosh Pluton, 25 to 14 million years ago, cuts welded tuff and lacustrine sedimentary rocks. Okay, well that's interesting to me. Let's see if we can find the bedded material that's dipping 20 degrees. Okay, well let's see if we can find this dike, this Tatoosh dike. Yeah, this is a crowded national park, but nobody stops at these places. Except you got the baby crying or something. No babies here. Yeah, Ohanapecosh Formation, I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to be excited. There's thousands and thousands of vertical feet of this stuff. It's got a greenish tint to it. It's still mostly, well, it's kind of sparkly here. So until I'm forced to get fancier, I want to be as simple as possible. I'm just thinking of these as green andesite lava flows. And what I'm struggling with is why we have such well-developed, thick lavas that certainly look like they were deposited above water. And yet I thought the main story of the Ohanapecosh was that we are not in the high Cascades when this stuff is being erupted. We're down at sea level. And apparently there's some lake beds, sedimentary lake beds in this road cut to help us put that story together. But remember what we're supposed to be finding here? We're supposed to, oh, I just found it. We're supposed to be finding a dike. Do you see it? I think I do. It's subtle, but hopefully you can see that there's something like this that's cutting up through. It's a slightly gray, more gray material, but oh yeah, that's nice. So apparently, and this is my first look, I think, at the Tatoosh Pluton. And I'm looking at it simply in the form of an offshoot of the Tatoosh Pluton that's cutting up through this Ohanapecosh stuff. So obviously the Tatoosh magma has to be younger. Cute little pathway here. Let me just follow it. I love these old rock walls. God knows when they were built. Yeah, the old chisel marks. Maybe before blasting, maybe before dynamite. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, this is kind of interesting. We've got different lavas, different colors at least. Are all these blocks from here? Are all these blocks from the Ohanapecosh Formation? That's kind of cool, if so. Oh, let's see where this goes. Well, now here we go. You want a breccia? Come on now, finally. I'm excited. This is not in place. In other words, this is not part of an outcrop, but presumably this came from here. This is a volcanic breccia. Oh, I like it. And I imagine lava interacting with water, busting up the rock to create this very fractured, frozen peanut brittle look. Glad I came down here. Why are people coming down here? To take a look at this? Is there a drop-off? Is there a view? To look at these blocks? That's what we're doing. This is fun. It's good old-fashioned fun. I don't know why. Oh, I see. People are coming down here to profess their love. Ah, graffiti. Gross. Update. Progress. We're actually seeing the Ohanapecosh Formation. The breccia, mostly the green andesite lavas, that's new. I was supposed to see it in the Cayuse Pass video, but I kept seeing those dikes instead. So this is good. This is progress. But now I'm going to flip you around and show you a peak up ahead and read from Pat Pringle, and I'm confused again. Ready? Flip you around. All right. Through the windshield, there's a peak up ahead. Wouldn't normally notice it, but I'm following a road guide written by professional geologists. Very good ones. And we are the peaks ahead are rhyolite and andesite volcanic plugs called the Cowlitz chimneys, a vent area of the Ohanapecosh deposits. That's a plug that is the source of the green lavas? Flipping you around again. I'm hung up on the fact that we're not high in the Cascades during Ohanapecosh time. I'm imagining a very low-lying area, maybe below sea level, here. And then we lift all these green lavas out of the water and get them up to whatever the elevation at Cayuse Pass is, over 5,000 feet elevation. That involves uplift, that involves structural geology, that involves anticlines. But why are we seeing the vents as actual high points? Were the vents, flip you around again, is that plug of rhyolite or andesite, the Cowlitz chimneys, were those plugs that were down at sea level? And then they lifted along with the lavas that they created? And are they simply higher chimneys now because they are harder, more resistant to erosion than some of this other stuff? I find that hard to believe. And if that's true, that we're lifting the lavas and the sources of the lavas, the vents in other words, we're lifting the whole kit and caboodle more than 5,000 feet in elevation long after these rocks were created. That's quite a story. I got to keep working. I'm thinking about the Cowlitz chimneys. Never heard about them till right now, but I guess that answers one of the questions, like what are these little crags in the foothills of Mount Rainier, which is just out of frame to the right? One answer is Cowlitz chimneys. Who knew? Well, okay, I mean, this is definitely Western Washington. Less and less outcrop, more and more trees. I mean, if you're a fan of trees, I get it. This is a great place, but this is a geology video and I'm starting to lose momentum. We are almost at the Stevens Canyon entrance. So Washington 123 is going to have a junction with Washington 706, which is the way to get up to Paradise. And across the road here is probably the last brief stop in this video. Ohanapecosh tough breccias. They crop out. I mean, there have been other exposures of Ohanapecosh, but I've been underwhelmed. Deeply weathered look. Kind of like this. Like, what am I supposed to do with this, man? Come on. Moss all over the thing. Can hardly see the rock. National Park, can't use a hammer. Wow. Tough breccia, I guess. Whatever you say. I'll believe whatever you say, man. You know it's bad when I'm distracted by biology. Good Lord. All right, let me cross, see if we can see anything with this. A tough breccia. I would still like to see a beautiful fragmented breccia in place in an outcrop. I doubt this is going to be a place to do that. Oh, come on. What am I supposed to look at? Give me a break. All right, screw this. Flipping you around. Okay, thanks everybody. I mean, I guess I'm going to call this one Cayuse Pass Outcrops. I didn't even know I was at Cayuse Pass. So that's one thing I learned today. I'd heard of Cayuse Pass, but I didn't know you could drive over it. Whatever. I'll continue. I'll come back up here. It's 95 degrees in Mount Rainier National Park. Wow. So I need to pick my spots. I need to get over to White Pass, but I think that's going to be a different video. Maybe when they reopen the road, or maybe I'll come through here again next week. It's plenty of good fun, old, good, wholesome fun, following a road guide. Thanks to Newell Campbell and Pat Pringle for helping us appreciate these locations, except for this one. Thanks. I love you, and goodbye from Cayuse Pass in Mount Rainier National Park.